Am I the barnhole for kicking out my mother-in-law for forcing my child to eat the one thing she dislikes? Quick reminder, this story's not about me. My husband and I have a daughter, 10 female, and she hates mushrooms. The taste, the texture, and the smell of them she cannot stand. She's not a picky eater by any means, but just doesn't like mushrooms. My mother-in-law lives with us and helps us by watching my daughter when she gets home from school. She makes dinner the nights we're working late for our daughter, as mother-in-law loves to cook, so she ensured us that it would be no trouble for her to make our daughter dinner most nights. My husband and I both work in the medical field, so we have a crazy, unpredictable schedule and are not home most nights to make dinner. Last night, my husband and I both had the night off work and were making dinner together. Mother-in-law went out for dinner with friends. Susie came to us crying, saying how she is sick and tired of being starved most nights and if we can please make her dinners instead of mother-in-law. It's very public knowledge that Susie does not like mushrooms, but yet for the past few weeks, every single dish that my mother-in-law has made for Susie has had the main component of mushrooms in it. Portobello mushroom burgers, mushroom risotto, mushroom pasta, etc. These dishes aren't made when either myself or my husband are around, but when we aren't, that's all Susie is served to eat. She told us that if she politely refuses to eat these dishes, my mother-in-law will tell her to suit yourself, but you're not getting any other food the rest of the night, and that she has to outgrow this stupid mushroom hatred. Both my husband and I were extremely upset that our child is going to bed hungry every night due to my mother-in-law only making her dinners with the one ingredient she doesn't like and not allowing her to eat anything else. When mother-in-law got home, we confronted her about this. She started going off saying that Susie needs to grow up and get over this stupid hatred of mushrooms. I told her that she's essentially starving her granddaughter. She disagreed and said it's tough love. She then proceeded to call me a shit mother for prioritizing my career over my child and helping her get over this dislike towards a vegetable. I told her to get out of my house because she will not disrespect me like that. She ended up leaving but had some nasty things to say to me on the way out. My husband is 100% on my side and feels that his mother is out of line. We've been getting nonstop messages from my two sister-in-laws and mother-in-law calling us every name in the book for kicking her out and that my daughter needs to get over herself. Am I the asshole? Abso-fucking-lutely not. This was a known dislike, and not just like, some kids don't like broccoli and it's like, oh, have you ever tried it? And they're like, no, I've never tried it because it's weird looking. This is not that kind of thing. Like, she's tried it. She doesn't like the texture of it. She doesn't like the taste of it. And you know what? Something that I've noticed that's pretty common is that when kids don't end up liking one specific thing, that one specific thing ends up being like an allergy or something that just doesn't agree with their digestive system or something. Like, it goes way beyond just a preferential thing. It may also be something that she decides she likes later on in life. It's not that hard to make food that doesn't have mushrooms in it. And yeah, she was intentionally forcing mushrooms on this child as some form of torture. She was torturing her with food intentionally. And that's f***ed up. That's super f***ed up. I'm going to go ahead and throw mother-in-law on the ascon scale here because this is something that she definitely shouldn't have done, right? I'm thinking so. As a quick reminder of the levels of assholery on the ascon scale, we have ascon 1 as the worst, and that is no way you should have done that. You're a terrible human being. Ascon 2 is you definitely shouldn't have done that, but it doesn't make you a terrible person. Ascon 3 is you probably should have approached that differently, and ascon 4 is you probably could have approached that differently. Maybe you're an asshole, maybe you're not. Mother-in-law here is ascon 1 through and through, and not just for torturing this kid with mushrooms, for pitching a big bitch fit on her way out the door and then getting other people involved to try to tell OP that she's a shit mother for kicking her out. Mother-in-law got herself kicked out here, and it wasn't because of the mushrooms. It was because her reaction to being confronted about the mushrooms. She called OP a shit mother. That's why she got kicked out. No, hell no. You're letting someone stay with you. And yes, she was helping care for this child because of your guys' crazy schedules, and now you forced yourself some pain by having to find someone else to help care for your child while those crazy schedules put you guys both at work. But you're going to deal with that, and that's the pain that you get from this whole situation. She has to go find somewhere else to stay. It's not okay for people who are supposed to be caring for your children to torture your children, even if that's with food. Doesn't matter. There were ground rules, and your mother-in-law just completely disrespected them and just ran right over them. And then when she got confronted about them, was like, oh yeah, you're a shit mom because you put your career before your kid. Mother-in-law here's an ascon 1. That's what I'm thinking here. There ain't no other way to see it. I guess there's always another way to see it. Of course there is. Mother-in-law had a very childish response here. As soon as she got busted for it, she just started slinging insults at everyone. At the kid, at the mom, on her way out the door, had more to say, and then got more people to say more. She had a very childish response to this, so whatever, dude. Mother-in-law's an ascon 1. You protect your kid. You guys did the right thing here. Oof.